Hey guys, this is Nick from PHP and 123.com. Today we're going to be talking about using PHP.net to see how the functions work that you want to use that are already built into PHP. I don't run ads on any of my videos, so I'd appreciate it if you could check out my site and my book, PHP and 123, to show your support. Links are in the details section below. Okay, so looking at PHP's built-in functions, the online list that PHP has is actually like a really great one. They have tons of functions here. These are like string functions we're looking at. We're looking at probably one of the most common ones you're going to use in terms of string manipulation in a light manner would be string position, strpos. This is a case sensitive search for a string within a word. I mean, a certain string within another string. And so on the left here are related functions to how you would manage via string. So anyway, looking here, you'll see generally you'll go php.net. You'll look for whatever function you might need, and then here you get the definition of what we have, the signature. So you'll see right here we have the name of the function, the return value. It takes a bunch of return values, so you need to read through here, which will be return value. And this function is a little bit complicated in terms of it can return the string position of whatever string you're looking for. So if it's at 0, the first element in the string, it'll return 0 and it'll say I found it, but it's at position 0. The problem there is that 0 will evaluate to false. So you want to use the 3 equal signs to make sure it's identical to false as opposed to 0. So anyway, I digress here. You're going to have the haystack, which is essentially the whole thing you want to search. So it's a haystack, and then you have the needle that you're looking for in the haystack. And this is where it might initially get a little bit tricky if you're not used to the way these things are laid out. But you'll see here, this is in square brackets, the comma, and then int offset. This is if you don't want to start from the beginning. So they give you, it's like a C++ style default argument here. And the default is going to be 0 if you don't specify one. You'll see this a ton of places in terms of the way it's set up, and you'll see it also. There might be other parameters and other functions down here. A common one we'll look at in a minute is preg replace. That one has a bunch of arguments, and you can't just specify. If you can specify like the leftmost way of doing it, but you can't specify from the right. So we'll look at it in a minute and get a little clearer view of what I mean. But here's just a quick script I wrote to kind of show how it works. So we have here, we're going to search this. The phrase here is search this string for this word, and our needle in there is we're going to look for this. And it's going to find the first occurrence here, and it's going to give us the position of where it starts. So if you look here, this should bring us the word this starts at position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Position 7. So when we run this, so you see we have haystack, the top, our needle, and then we're going to save the position, and then we're going to output it. So let's go ahead and run this. PHP, run this document, and it's at 7. Now you'll notice here we're using the default argument, since we didn't specify it, of offset of 0. So let's go ahead and specify one. I'm going to make a variable for it, but you don't have to always do that. Offset equals 0. Actually, I'm sorry, we don't want 0. We'll do, since the first string starts at 7, we'll start at 8. So we'll skip right over where we're going to look for. So let's save it and then run it again. PHP document. And you'll see this time needle is at position 23, and before we got the number 7. So what it did is it found this occurrence instead. So you can see how having a different argument can help us here. Now quickly let's look at preg replace. And here we go. So this is a little bit heavier because you use the regular expression engine, the Perl compatible regular expression engine. And you see we have 2 default arguments here. So generally you'll put the pattern you're looking for, then you'll put a replacement, what you want to replace it with, a little, and then the subject of what we're looking for, and then you'll see limit here, and then it specifies what you want, the maximum possible replacements. So generally you want no limit, you want to do them all. And the next one is the reference of account, number of replacements done. So whether you want this or not, you would specify. Now if you wanted, let's say you wanted to set count, but you didn't care about the limit, what you would have to do is then set all of these, of course, because they're required, and then you would need to set the limit here just to -1, like you would normally do. I mean, like you would normally have to do to get to this point, because it doesn't know if you set the count. It'll think you're trying to do limit and you're trying to do the default argument for count. So you always have to work leftmost. As you work right, you have to fill every parameter to the left of that. And so that's kind of in a nutshell how you read these functions on php.net, which is a great site, very well documented. But anyway, this is Nick from php123.com. Thanks for stopping by. Subscribe to my channel, like the video, or leave a comment below. And again, just thanks for stopping by. All right, see ya.